Now let's take a look at a preset called Sonic DNA. What this preset is doing is, here we've got DR55 kick drum set up on voice 1. We're using CV1 plus knob 1 to modulate the sample that's playing. You'll hear that. But let's go look at the modulation. We can see that we are ring modulating a sample for voice 2 with that of voice 1. So let's go look at voice 2. Here we've got the 909's kick drum, and we are modulating or selecting what sample is going to play for voice 2 with this knob 2 here. So what's going to happen is CV coming in here is creating the little pattern or complex loop of different drum samples, and then this sample, this knob here, it selects what sample we're going to ring modulate with all these samples that are happening here. So just by adjusting this, well, we should get different tonal shapes from the pattern that's happening here. That's given each of those sounds just a different quality than they originally had. At the same time, let's find something we like here. Now we can move this knob and it's going to offset and change our complex loop that's happening. Now it has some familiarity to it because we're ring modulating with the same sample. Let's select a different sample here. And there you can tell it's a clap it's ring modulating this pattern with. Select a different sample. And since our CV is coming in here that's creating that complex loop of different samples, we can attenuate it or increase the amount, change our pattern. Now let's select a different sample for it to ring modulate with. So it's just another way that you can come up with new tonal variations from those original samples. And if we wanted to, we could apply some sort of digital effect to it. And there's, we got bit crushing. Now if we wanted to, we could go modulate this sample as well. Let's go back here to voice 2. And instead of knob 2 controlling sample to ring modulate with, we're going to select random. And we could go back to our digital effects here and basically turn bit crushing off. Maybe we'd like to adjust the sample rate. The important thing to keep in mind is when you're ring modulating one sample with another, the maximum length that sample can occur will be the shortest time of either of those samples. Now, if we reduce our CV coming in, this voice isn't changing at all, but this one is. But we can offset it. So that's randomizing it. Let's see what else we could do. Voice 2, maybe we want CV2 to control it. Now it's only going to select between two different samples, controlled by this mod amount. So let's go to voice 1, and now we're going to set it to just respond to knob 1. So here we're setting the sample for voice 1. And this sample here is being ring modulated with it, but we are using this logic gate coming in from CV2. So maybe what we should do is say knob 2 plus CV2. Let's see here. Now as we move this knob, it'll move us through the entire sample range. And we can select a different sample to affect. Let's speed that tempo up. And if we don't like the amount or the combination of samples here, we could just change the modulation amount. As you can tell, there's going to be a ton of combinations for you to try out here. So dig in there, play with the parameters, and have a lot of fun.